But if Rambo is out of sight, either intentionally hiding or simply munching hay in a newly vacated stall, she is initially disturbed, then worried, and finally panic-stricken, uttering a heart-wrenching, baleful "Ah!" as she searches for him. Once she locates him, all is right in her world. She settles into her sheepness, content to roam the barnyard, grazing, stealing alfalfa from the hay room, and plotting kitchen break-ins. As long, that is, as Rambo is no more than a foot or two from her. It is a relationship that she needs desperately, and one that Rambo sometimes seems to appreciate, other times only tolerate. Enter the other woman. Barbie is a broiler. The term used by the poultry industry to describe chickens intended for meat. Broiler. They exist for the sole purpose of being broiled, or baked, or barbecued. She's one of hundreds who've arrived at CAS over the years from one of New York's 5 boroughs, lucky escapees from live poultry markets, slaughterhouses, transport trucks, and the ritual sacrifices of Santeria. We've taken chickens from dumpsters, chickens tied to trees in Central Park, chickens stuffed in mailboxes, and chickens who are drowning in crates left in flooding streets. Our latest Barbie was found in Brooklyn, hiding under a blue Honda. Like Hannah, Rambo, and many of our smaller animals, Barbie free ranges during the day. While she is young, the exercise is good for a body that will quickly grow morbidly obese. There's also no outdoor home for Barbie, as our ratio of roosters to hens is about 300 quinzillion to 1. So Barbie snuggles into her home in the main barn each night, then each morning is lifted out to explore the barnyard and cozy up to whomever she chooses. Unfortunately, just like the rest of the girls who've come before her, Barbie has chosen Rambo. For several weeks, Barbie has been napping right next to Rambo. Remember this when you watch the video later tonight. Sometimes so close to him that surely even through his wool, Rambo feels the heat emanating from her big bird body. Sometimes she climbs on top of his back, the patient Rambo motionless, and falls sound asleep. Rambo takes her overtures in good stride. For a while, Hannah tolerated the new friendship. After all, Barbie was merely a hen. Hannah could still rest side by side with her love, or stalk him relentlessly as he traveled the barnyard, ensuring all was in order. But Rambo, the most exceptional animal I've ever known, had other things in mind. A couple weeks ago, I stood incredulous as Rambo walked up to Barbie and pawed the ground. Anybody who works here can tell you volunteers about Rambo pawing the ground. Pawing is Rambo's signal to humans that he wants a massage, something that he receives whenever he asks for it, which is generally, 40 or 50 times a day. Clearly he thought that if human beings could discern his wishes, then a chicken could too. We stood there, my hand on April's arm, both of us gaping, as our extraordinary friend tried to teach his bird pal to do his bidding. When it didn't work, Rambo finally took the tip of his horn and very gently massaged the little bird. A few days later, Rambo was lying in a pile of hay. Next to him was Barbie, pulling bits of hay from his woolly coat. The deepening of this relationship was too much for Hannah. One recent afternoon, she was nowhere to be found as I entered the barn to set up feed. "Where's Hannah?" I asked Abby. "She's in timeout." "What happened?" I asked, imagining her response. She had butted Barbie halfway across the aisle.
Oh, dear.
Tension mounted when Barbie began using Rambo as a sofa. At 17 pounds, she is no longer fully mobile, yet she can still manage to climb atop the resting sheep, take a moment to decide whether she wants to face his horns or his woolly rear, and ease down into fluffy bliss. For weeks I'd heard about, but not witnessed, this new development in the relationship between the great sheep and the presumptuous chicken. And then one crisp December morning, I exited the feed room, and there in the middle of the aisle were Rambo and Barbie. Barbie was one happy hen, plopped dead center onto Rambo's back. Rambo was completely unfazed. I dashed back inside for a camera. People had to see this. And then moved slowly toward them. "Rambo, you are a prince." I praised him. What a kind man you are, I said as I sat down just feet from them to snap the best shot. And then I heard it. The rapid click, click, click of sheep. It was Hannah. She had spotted them. The ball of brown wool pushed past me as if I weren't there and strode within 6 inches of the offending pair, neither of whom bulged. She glared at them. She looked at me. She looked back at them. She looked at me. There was no need for words here. As, are you going to help me here or what? Or really, most precisely, what the hell is this? Were etched into every gesture. I'm sorry, Hannah, I whispered, approaching her with consoling words. But Hannah pooped and marched outside, wanting nothing more of Rambo, the interloper, or me. I never imagined I'd work in a place where a sheep and a hen would vie for a second sheep's affection. But then again, I never imagined that I haven't tested this yet. I never imagined that a dying cow would look my face over and over and over until he took his final breath. Or that a former cockfighting rooster would evolve into a being who begged us to share our lunches, took car rides with me, and happily climbed onto my dog Murphy's bed to share a nap. These are the things that love allows. Animals are far more like us than I'd ever have imagined had I not had the good fortune to be with them every single day of this most wonderful life.